The highest praise. Hallelujah. Give him the highest praise. Hallelujah. Give me the highest praise. In the morning when I wake up, in the night when I wake up, I will lift up my voice to heaven and give you the highest praise. Hallelujah to my King. Hallelujah to my Father. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Above before the throne. When I look at all the wonder and I see all the creation, the beauty of the universe, you never change. You never lie. You never change. You never change. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hallelujah. 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 Give it. Hallelujah. The highest praise. Hallelujah. Give him the highest praise. Hallelujah. Give me the highest praise. Hey, I'm the friend, Jehovah. Come and worship Jehovah. It is of the praise. Come and praise. It is of everything. The worshiping. Oh, you give me life. Water Development Association. I do all. You can get again, boy. What's up? I'm by your to down. They want to never see us far. They want to just far. They want to never far away. They forget to love. They forget to love. Honorable David Awika, Global President, Honorable Charles Drew, VP of PTA. Come on, Yolole. I'm on your way. I'm on your way. I'm on your way. No way for me now. When I do the way, they fly away again. Secretary can't see you, know. That's all you see, you know. No way for me to Good morning, folks. We want to welcome you to this broadcast. Very shortly, I'm going to be joining my team, special guests from inside Liberia. But in the meantime, our prayers and thought goes out to the people of Pueblit region, that's from Granger County. Our understanding, their board chairman, Mr. Harrison J. Dennis, passed right there in Allentown within the suburb of Pennsylvania. And the son, courtesy of the president, D. Jawle Kampao, is based in San Diego, that is California, as a word of encouragement to the bereaved family. And in fact, the late Dennis is also the brother of our own Bazon District President, Mr. J.J. Dennis, right there in Philadelphia. Stay tuned. I'm Alfonso Zienso. What taking you to Granger this morning, afternoon, whatever you are, that's how we do it here. Stay tuned. Very shortly, my guests are going to be joining me from inside Liberia. Pretty close to 6 p.m. Local time in Liberia is 12:57 Eastern Standard Time right here at the New England Bureau. To all our viewers and listeners across the globe, whatever you are, we want to welcome you to this broadcast. I'm Alfonso Zienso right here from the New England Bureau. Stay tuned. We're going to have some real-time conversation here this morning from my end afternoon. Again, our prayers and talk goes out. That's Harrison J. Dennis is the board chairman of the Port Town Development Association, and this song was released to us this morning. Through a friend and brother, a long-time friend from Stephen Tower Estate. He's now based in San Diego, that is in California. And he is the president of the Port Town Development Association, the Jawali Kampao. And, you know, he asks us to extend the DPO's condolences to the entire family to Port Town. And of course, he's the son of Bison District as well. The late Harrison Dennis, brother, is the current sitting president of Bison District. That's President J.J. Dennis. As information becomes available, we will make it known here. That's part of our community engagement. And so we just said, just important that we bring that out here as well. Stay tuned, so we're going to get the conversation going.
Director, EPA. What do we? Mr. Director Holding Over, President PDA, Liberia. I say, with my own mind.
That's how I decided to be this afternoon. I putting myself in the spirit. Someone from the southeastern side, Granger County, right under the cotton tree, border towards neighboring La Côte d'Ivoire. We want to welcome you. Thank you for sharing your morning and afternoon, depending on your location. Well, a year to go away. The embattled LOFA County Senator-elect and former Minister of National Defense. He occupied high-profile government positions in Liberia. He once served as the Deputy Minister for Operations at the Ministry of National Defense. Subsequently, he becomes the Minister of National Defense, former police director, the authored origins of the Black Bearer Group in Liberia during the time of concomitant Amos Sawyer, then switched gear to elected state office. J. Brandon Samukai contested the Ennet senatorial race in Liberia on the ticket of the collaborative parties that make up the four political parties in Liberia. Uncertainty is still in the air on the futures of his political career. Well, we managed to reach Honorable Samukai during the week, and a special team will be joining us here from inside Liberia to look at the next strategy and the future of Brandon J. Samukai. These and many more are going to be our point of conversation to right here from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. And as soon as we get a signal, we're going to be joining the team right here. But this is what unfolded recently, courtesy of our sister network in Liberia, to giving full courage to the political situations in the country. Citizens of LOFA County are frowns and ordinary Liberians inside and outside of the Bellwell as frowns on the decision to withhold the certification process of Samukai, Brandon Samukai, now Senator-elect. Citizens are gathered outside the offices of the National Elections Commissions expressing their grievances. Even the blind, the disabled, and all group of people are speaking out. Now the talking point is echoing across the nations outside of Liberia. One of the campaign spokespersons will be joining me here from the nation's capital of Liberia, making team of the political parties. They're going to be joining me here, friends of Brandon Samukai. But let's get some of the soundbite there right here by the citizens of LOFA County recently expressing their disagreements on the action by the Election Commission.
So what time frame are you expecting for some of these? We are warning them today. If you cannot certificate once today to know nobody will pass it.
So why if you don't receive your certificate?
Tomorrow will be a different day.
This is the leader. Friend to neck with the leader. The women leaders will come and ask. Depending on the answer we get, then we can advance. That's what we are here.
So why is the problem the Guntown Edwin Snow case will allow of the Supreme Court and he will within 24 hours? What is the whole on Honorable SAMUKAI?
My brother, that's a $1 million question. Honorable Edwin Snow was clear by the Supreme Court on the Thursday. The next day, Friday, 24 hours, he was certificated. Honorable open of grand jury was clear on Tuesday. The next day, Wednesday, he was certificated. Honorable Brady Samkai, all of the 7 commissioners of the Elections Commission have declared that he is the winner of the December 8 election. That decision has been confirmed and affirmed by the Supreme Court of Nigeria, the highest arbiter of justice. Today,
Let's stay with us.
Want to know today?
Someone said the NEC work is a process. Maybe there's a
we know the whole game plan. The whole game plan is to weaken the MPP. The no Brady Samkai is a heavy head.
Okay. All right. That's the conversation right there. Let me see here. Just bear with me here, and we're going to get this program going. Okay, that's some of our Lofians expressing their opposition or their disenchantment by the actions of the National Election Commission inside Liberia as it relates to the certification process of a minister or former minister, Brani Samka, who was now senator-elect of LOFA County, but that yet to be accomplished. As you remember, the NEC put a hold on that, and a lot of Lofians and ordinary Liberians have been expressing their concern. Waiting, and soon we get a signal here. We're going to be breaking our team, friends of SAMUKAI, those who led the vanguard to have a SAMUKAI elected, are now speaking out for the first time. Hopefully, we're going to be joining them here. But this is also a Liberian, and from his talking point, it seems to be a Lofian, and he's not backing down. He's physically impaired, but he said that has nothing to do with his ability to speak or to express his view. And even he's willing to loan himself to the people of Riverside, where Samuel G. Vance is also in a serious fight. All of this making news inside Liberia and outside of the land. Let's listen to this young man, courtesy of our sister network, in an exclusive recently. That is quite fascinating to the level this has reached. Let's listen to him.
Misapplication or misappropriation is not tantamount to criminality. The first thing, the law of the Republic of Liberia says, our cabinet minister work at the will and pleasure of the president. They didn't say even at the will and the pleasure of the country, which are also front at that law, but that's what the law says. You work at the will and the pleasure of the president who appoints you. This man was the sitting defense minister of the Republic of Liberia. You are speaking about the commanding-in-chief of the armed forces of the Republic of Liberia. By the way, there is no president in the world is a civilian. As long as you are the head of the army, you are now a civilian. Do you expect Brani SAMUKAI to have told Madam Sally, no, I'm doing this? Or you want a man to be charged with mutiny? Eh? So you want a man, no. Do you want a man, did you want the man to have been charged for mutiny? Is that why you want to tell me yes?
Mr. Gibson, what
Yes.
will be the reaction if the next fails to certificate Honorable Samuka today?
Come again?
What will be the reaction?
There will be unspecified, sustained political consequences.
Like what?
For the Lofians.
Like what?
Like what?
Yeah.
I can tell you it will not be disclosed. Listen, did you read the 48 laws of power? The 10th law of the 48 laws of power talk about you must conceive your intention. We're not going to disclose our intention here. But what I can tell you, there will be sustained, unspecified political consequences.
Sustained, unspecified political.
Okay, that's Lofians reacting. Sustained, unspecified political consequences. Those are the tone, those are the soundbites echoing inside Liberia, or perhaps outside of the offices of the National Election Commissions of ordinary Lofians, dissatisfactions on the result and the decision by them to uphold. I am Alfonso Z, and so Charles is unable. I cannot capture your image, so you need to maybe go off and come back here. Stay tuned. I will be right back. All right, let's see here. I'm trying this other guy is in there backstage, but we can't get his image. And if that's the case, it just makes it very, very, very difficult to get in on. Hopefully, you guys going to position yourself right there as well. Okay. All right. We're getting a message here. Our guys going to be joining us. I see Mr. Charles Rabbit backstage, but we're here to capture him to allow ourselves not to bring him on live. So hopefully he's going to fix that as well, and we can get him. We are getting to information here. Mr. ABASS, who happens to be the national coordinator of Friends of Brandon Samukai, that's the former Minister of National Defense, former police chief in his political fight. We're going to be having a conversation here. You've been hearing Lofians and ordinary Liberians. We want to know how far, because there was an ultimatum given by the National Election Commission. So what is at stake in the coming week and days in Liberia? These and many more we're going to be asking them. And in fact, one of the key questions that no media or no microphone has been able to address is, there's a tape here that we have. Minister Samukai did mention of the former president, Helen Johnson Sirleaf, giving him specific instruction relative to the money in question, over $1 million United States dollars, that has to do with the armed forces of the Republic of Liberia members. Helen Johnson Sirleaf is still alive. So while the folks in the media industry can't even go to also find out from Mr. Sirleaf, well, we are working behind the scene, hopefully to get the voice of Mr. Sirleaf, her side of the story. We have also reached out to the Solicitor General, the Chief Prosecutor of the Republic of Liberia. There was an interview scheduled here, but he did not show up, and so we're going to give him second chance as well. And that's how we managed to reach out with the Brandon Samukai team to get a first-hand, a comprehensive, or perhaps insight of their next strategy. We have also extended invitation to the National Elections Commission, the Public Affairs Director, Mr. Furure, to also talk to them what is going on, what we need to know, what the public needs to know. And that's how the news is kept proportionate, giving everybody fair, and not to be judgmental, not to allow your emotions to take you away, but be able to gather all of the clues, all of the puzzles as making news. And perhaps you as a listeners, viewers, or ordinary Liberians to be able to make an informed decision. Unfortunately, most of us, or we Liberians, our emotions are based on sentiments and our political affiliations that have driven the country so much in the gutter, and we yet to find a solution. This is a clear indication how politics in the game of politics is very divisive in Liberia. Of course, Liberia is no any other different country on planet Earth. Politics will be having the rough edges as well. But until we can bring to genuineness and the love of our country, we should be able to have this sort of high core, painful conversation that you do not necessarily have to agree with because of your political attachment or your loyalty paid to your political institution or so-called political leaders. Unfortunately for us here at Liberia Public Radio, we create a neutral ground where there will be a genuine and authentic conversations and not to be judgmental into our action, into our profession, but to give everyone the opportunity. All we require is civility on this network. No one should be above the law, and there should be no abuse of power equally. But I am seriously disappointed that the media industry in Liberia yet to point the microphone over to the former president who is still alive. And I'm wondering, even the Brandon SAMUKAI team are unable to make that, or if Senator-elect Brandon SAMUKAI is using himself as a sacrificial lamb for Madam Helen Johnson's leave. Or is the current government telling us that the instruction from former president commensurate with crime? Should we then hold Solicitor General Serena Sifos after the presidency of George Weah yet and answer questions of the auditors in Liberia? Should we make a conclusion that those decisions were acted on the instructions of the president? And there are many others that we can say. Should we then say that the removal of Cabinet Janen's subsequent government comes should go after Musadin or Solicitor General, that their decisions or their action was based on the president's mandate? Let us look at the facts. And no one should be above the law. That's what we should be doing. We are seeing it in the West and other places. The former president of France, he might potentially be going to jail. He testified, attempted robbery, and he was given the order of the day, not because he was president. Helen Johnson Sirleaf is no longer president. Those presidential immunities be gone. And so if it is required, she needs to appear before. And even what happened to the House of Senate, what is their role in this? This has to do with the armed forces of the Republic of Liberia, the institutions charged with the responsibility to protect and guide the sovereign nation with our neighbors. But yet, nothing much is being done. Stay tuned.
Action when you are visually impaired?
No, listen, no, that's not an issue.
What's the issue?
I thought you would have said I'm mentally impaired. That would have been an issue.
But how
this has got nothing to do. No, wait, excuse me. This has got nothing to do
with the presence of police.
What does my physical impairment have to do with the logic? So is the logic I'm propounding out of my head? Are they impaired? Are they impaired?
The logic is different from protest.
Listen, no, the thing is, the protests that we are carrying on here, we are not violent. Lofia, tell me where in the history of this country you are
heard just talk about sustaining political unspecified action.
Of course, being sustaining political unspecified consequences does not amount to violence. We will remain here. We will remain here if it will cause. Of course, you know you got diplomatic missions accredited near the capital.
And then you also police on a the police ask you to leave.
No, listen. No, that is my constitutional right. As long as I'm here, I'm not informing.
You defy the law?
No, it's not about the defy. Well, why should the police also ask me to leave? Are they not defying the law too? Is the police above the law? I'm here to defend my county, my son of my county, who somebody tried to dent his character. The first thing here, this is what people are supposed to understand. You can clearly see the political motivation in this thing. This man, you accuse this man of doing XYZ. You brought 3 state witnesses to testify on your behalf against this man. The current defense minister who was the then chief of staff of the army, the current deputy chief of staff, and the current chief of staff who was the then commanding general. These are all senior government officials that you brought to testify against this man. On the other hand, they testify in the man's behalf instead of on your behalf.
That which you was convicted of a stolen amount of $1 million.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you get the weird code of incompetent jurisdiction. That what happens.
Which one do you refer to as the weird code of incompetent jurisdiction?
The weird code of incompetent jurisdiction is the Supreme Court, and everyone expected us to be all of us expected to be independent. That now taking mandate or try to please George Weah.
That's why the goodness brother of the Supreme Court was your kinsman. The same Supreme Court ruled in favor of him.
Yeah,
so be certificated.
Yeah, so it tells you. Yeah, so it tells you the kind of people the Supreme Court.
So then why would you say that we are court rule for SAMUKAI'S to be certificated?
It tells you the level of contradiction in which they are bringing to the whole thing. Did you read the ruling? The lower court ruling said a different thing. The Supreme Court ruling, in fact, the both court ruling is not even corroborating. There is no corroboration in the both court ruling. The lower court is telling you the man squander public fund. The Supreme Court says private fund. Where are we going? You have left the public in complete state of communicado or perplexity.
Someone was saying, instead of coming here today to defend your Lothian brother interest, it would be better you go and restitute the money.
No, but I mean, who told us that we would have restituted the money? Did anybody put knife to our throat and say we'll restitute it? Didn't you when there's the rally at Poland in Peaceville?
So far, how much do you have?
No, I'm not clue with the authority to disclose that. That's why we got. Listen.
How soon will you guys restitute the money?
Listen, this is an organized thing that is being done. Lofians are sound-minded people. I'm not going to speak here, scatterly, like one point of decapitated chicken running all over the place here to give you misleading information. I'm not going to go that route to tell you we have raised this amount, we have not raised this amount. Finally, we want to say to the international community, they spend billions of dollars for the democracy we are enjoying, this young emerging democracy. What led to the destruction of this country from 14 years of senseless war have been as a result of electoral matter. You were here in 1985 when people felt disenchanted and went into the bushes. And we don't want to see a reoccurrence of such situation. Even with besides the branding SAMUKAI'S issue, you see what is happening in Riverside County. Wellington Jevon Smith is about to be robbed of his victory, which is another protest that I personally will lead. I think when it comes to that one, I will ask the people of LOFA County to loom into Riverside for that moment to be a Riverside citizen until Wellington Jevon Smith can get justice. So I want to thank you very much.
Thank you. So,
okay, that's so interesting. So I'm getting a message here. The girls, they're going to be running late, and so we're going to have this talking point. My guests here, we're going to be in there for a little haul, and we hope to get a word from the National Election Commission as well. We extended an invitation in order to talk to them. We are also to reach out to folks close to the former president, Helen Johnson Sirleaf. I'm not a lawyer, but it is quite alarming because we also have a tape here in which the former Minister of National Defense categorically stated that there was an instruction from the president, then President Helen Johnson Sirleaf, to go ahead with the actions executed by Minister Tai SAMUKAI. And it was also a bilateral understanding as to whether it was a rating or gentleman agreement by the two administrations, the outgoing and the incoming. We yet to know. But it is also known that some payment has been made by the Wyatt-led government. On the basis of that, we decided to invite the Solicitor General, who is the Chief Prosecutor of the Republic of Liberia, Councillor Simon Sereno Cephas, to appear here. He consented, but by the end of the day, he did not show up. So I'm also interested to note as to whether Cephas, there was an arrangement, and what did he knows about? Was there any official report on the part of SAMUKAI administration when he was Minister of National Defense, for which the incoming CDC-led government were able to make concession or to agree that we're going to make a payment? So what did he know about now that he didn't know about, for which government is in pursuit? So why the lawmakers, why the media is not going forcefully to ask these people questions, including the former president, Helen Johnson Sirleaf. Our invitation is all out there. Neither are we judgmental, but we just simply want to know. And I think no one should be above the law. And so I soon will get that confirmation as well. Just bear with us. The guests, they said they are running late, and so we'll be waiting. But I will be probably I need to open the line up here to get your reaction on this case. And I know it's been talked about over and over, and we will not get tired discussing it because there's a need that we get it all out. So that's Minister Brandon Samukai right there. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. I believe our guest is here. He's standing by backstage from the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. He's in the vanguard. He's the coordinator of the embattled LOFA County Senator, former Minister of National Defense, former Operations Minister, former Police Chief, veteran security personnel. His political future is on the line. Stay tuned. I will be right with you. Okay, let me bring in my guest. Mr. ABASS BIATY is based in the West African state, the nation capital of Monrovia. I'm not sure whether he's in the strategy room of his Minister Samukai. Let me just see here, Mike. Okay, there you see him. Is sitting down right there. Okay, Mr. BIATY, am I calling the name right?
Can hear you.
You hearing me? I'm getting you loud and clear. Are you hearing me? Mike?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear right now.
Okay. All right. Is that a strategy war room you in that of your embattled senator or what? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Don't mind. Okay. So thank you for joining us here. I know it's not easy, but just quickly introduce yourself. I know a lot is unfolding within your, corridor out there, so you get a lot of things to do. But just introduce yourself to my audience, and we'll get the ball rolling.
Thank you. For some reason, you are coming in a little bit broken, but I hope that you will improve so that I'll be able to get you very well. Mm-hmm. My name is ABASS BIATY, a son of LOFA County, the current national coordinator of the Friends of SAMUKA, a graduate of the University of Liberia. Currently, we are in the process of ensuring that justice is provided to the people who stood in line to vote for the Honorable Brownie J. Samukai. So I'm here tonight to have a conversation with you.
Okay. Are you getting me much better now?
Maybe I need to.
Are you getting me much better?
Yes, I think it's much better. Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure you understand me and I understand you, and to do our audience the favor so that we can. Yeah, maybe you need to use. I'm not sure what I'm using your headphone.
All right. So let me use my headphone.
Yeah, please do.
Yes, so that we not have any,
Okay, guys, just bear with us. We want to make sure we give you the service that you need to know to understand that we are in this as all of us.
Exactly.
Okay, so.
All right. I'm better right now. I'm very good.
Okay, you are better right now. Okay, so let me say a little bit humanity into this conversation. How is the senator-elect? Are we calling him senator or senator-elect?
Well, from the angle of LOFA County, we are calling him senator. But for the legal side and for the record, we call him senator-elect because the necessary formalities are yet to be done. So we call him senator-elect from the legal angle, but we call him senator from the angle of LOFA County.
Okay.
And he's
doing ABASS. Is LOFA County on different planet Earth? Why would we call him? So how do you want me to call him? Senator-elect or senator?
Well, you can call him senator-elect for the record. You can call him senator-elect for record, yes.
For LOFA, you call him senator.
But for us in LOFA County, we call him Senator Samuka. We are very clear on that.
We are very clear. Okay, let's get a talking point going here. This has become a major issue, not just within Liberia, but outside of the corridors of Liberia as to what is happening. We need to get a clear insight. What is the strategy right now within the war of Senator-elect Brandon Samuka? You anticipated a certification of a guy. He won a decisive win from all what we got up, and then something popped out. A decision came from the other side of the end. We saw the letter that popped out in the dying minute from Solicitor General Serenant Simon Cephas. Are you taking that serious?
Well, this is a clear demonstration of where our country is right now and why the world needs to pay serious attention to Liberia. Because as it is right now, all of our laws have been violated under this current government. But I would like to focus this discussion on particularly Brownie Samuka, in whose case we are all concerned right now. Brownie Samuka was convicted, according to them, found guilty of misapplication of public fund. The ruling said, Brownie, you are guilty of misapplying this money, so go and pay the money. But the ruling or the verdict.
Just bear with us.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
All right, okay. So make sure you pay this money, pay 50% of the money within 6 months. Now, that was done. There were two gentlemen who never took part in the elections. They were not candidates. They were not members of a political party. Filed in a complaint of irregularities in the elections. So that matter was taken to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled on this matter. So we have two issues here right now. Mm-hmm. The criminal case was being ruled on and say, go and pay the money, but the verdict or the ruling is suspended for 6 months and have nothing to do with a political career. That's what it means. Now, the election case was also ruled on from the same Supreme Court, and a mandate was given to the National Elections Commission since February 24th to proceed with the certification of Mr. Samuka. Now, the National Elections Commission is on record for certificating people whose cases were adjudicated at the level of the Supreme Court in less than 24 hours.
Charles is trying to come on, but for some reason his system is not allowing his image to be captured. I don't know why, but we'll go ahead. We don't want to interrupt that.
All right. I'm sure you will try to address it. And so, two senators, Senator Edwin Melvin Snow was certificated 24 hours immediately the verdict came from the Supreme Court. Senator Penner from Grand Judah, yes, was certificated 24 hours upon the mandate from the Supreme Court. But on the contrary,
but on a different scenario, that also
no, it was not a different scenario because the results were challenged by individuals, and so when the Board of Commissioners of the National Elections Commission rule on this matter to say, yes, these people won the elections, so they should proceed. But under our law, the complainants still have the opportunity to proceed, you know, to the Supreme Court. So they went to the Supreme Court and raised the issue. When the Supreme Court ruled on the matter, immediately these people were certificated. So we expected same to be done in the case of Brownie Samuka. Unfortunately, Brownie Samuka mandate came from the Supreme Court from February 24th. Yesterday, Saturday, was the 6th or 7th. Up to today, Brownie Samuka have not been certificated. So this clearly shows how the National Elections Commission is no more independent, but rather they are taking instructions from the executive.
How do you know that?
Well, it is clear. First, our inside sources told us that the commissioners are now divided. 3 of the commissioners, including the chairperson, approved the certification of Mr. Samuka. 4 of the commissioners resisted it because they are seditionists. So 4 of them resisted it, and there was a bitter argument to the effect. Now, what is more frustrating is that on the Monday of last week, the National Elections Commission announced that a mandate have come from the Supreme Court and then ordered the certification committee to proceed with the certification of Mr. Samuka. Unfortunately, we were later informed that a writ of prohibition was presented by one Simeon Freeman. So the National Elections Commission was delaying to ensure that Simeon Freeman perfect his writ of prohibition at the national election at the Supreme Court. So they delayed from the 24th of February to the 5th of March. You see the gap in between, which demonstrate that these people are not independent. So that means they are receiving instruction from someone else instead of the law that is provided as to how elections matters should be adjudicated or how election matters should be handled. So yes.
Yeah, this morning regarding the armed forces of Liberia that plays hook on the senator elect. The court is asking that there should be a restitution. Is it willing to make that payment?
Exactly. We cannot undo the ruling of the Supreme Court. We are under obligation to respect the laws of the land, particularly the High Court. So when the ruling came, the people of LOFA County said, okay, as much as we are disappointed in this ruling, but we accept it and we'll pay the money. 2 reasons why we're disappointed in the ruling. Point number 1, Mr. Samuka presented evidence of a letter of authorization from the Commander-in-Chief, the then President, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, authorizing the Minister of Defense to proceed with the execution of what was asked of him.
Was that letter presented in court, you said?
Absolutely, it was. It was presented. I can send you a copy of those documents.
Yeah, that would help the conversation here.
Yes.
And we do know significant portions of that amount. I will play a tape here, and this is what I'm wondering: why the media industry, or why even people can also reach the former President Helen Johnson Sirleaf as to what he knows and what was the understanding with the Helen Johnson Sirleaf government and that of the CDC-led government to have even made a first initial payment. So what is the new thing that I've developed that I don't know, or the house or other Liberians do not know, that we really want to know? So what were the 10?
All right. In October of 2019, Mr. Samuka was on a 50/50 Sky FM show where he revealed that he was engaged by the CDC government to join the CDC party. He told them, I'm sorry, I'm not joining the CDC. I'm a Unity Party person and I will remain a Unity Party person.
CDC,
that was revealed.
CDC
Yes, it was.
Out to me. I know I've heard that, but I'd like to hear it from the house's mouth.
Yes,
CDC party reached out to join the CDC to
exactly
for LOFA County. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. So he was engaged twice, and he said to them, "No, I cannot join the CDC." And they were very emphatic. They didn't hide it. They told him, "If you don't join the CDC, we will embarrass you." So what's
the connotations of that? What did he sense out?
All right. So that embarrassment means we will abandon the payment that we have committed ourselves to, and we'll go ahead to prosecute you. And because we control the court system now, we will ensure that you will be found guilty. And that's what they have done.
Is that a
they have successfully.
Is that a conspiracy you're throwing out here, or was that something that put in the face of now Senator?
No. It was boldly said to him. They said, we will ensure that we will prosecute you.
So who specifically made those comments, if you were to tell
Seditions. There were 2 executive members of the CDC that was sent to engage Mr. Samuka.
Who are those seditions?
For the record, I will not reveal their name for the record for now. But as time goes back, we will reveal their names.
Most likely they are higher up, holding high profile positions.
Absolutely. Right? These are these are leaders in the CDC.
I'll make it a guess here. One of the top seditions, he's a Lofian, Molba Molo, could be one of those. Is that right?
Well, I don't want to call any name, but I'm telling you, top members of the CDC were the one who came to meet Mr. Samuka. But what I want to say is the entire CDC is informed of this conspiracy. The entire CDC leadership is aware because they plan it and they are executing this. But what we want to say is that whatever they are doing, what we can assure them of is the mandate of the people of LOFA County cannot be touched. That is clear. We want to say that from the beginning as we proceed with the political fight. The decision of the people of LOFA County to elect Brownie Samuka, Article 1 of the Liberian Constitution, all power is inherent in the people, cannot be touched.
Is he worried what is unfolding right now? Is there any apprehension that he ever entered this building behind me?
It is very dangerous. Whatever they are doing is very dangerous. Their apprehension is that Brownie Samuka wants to be president.
Does he want to be? He wants to be president. Is that what you told you?
That is no. That is what seditions are saying.
And what are you saying? What can you tell me?
Every Liberian has the right to be whosoever they want to be. But that's not the discussion. The discussion right now is to have Brownie Samuka, the Senate, representing the people of LOFA County. That's the discussion right now. It is the right of every Liberian that meet the requirement of the Constitution to contest the presidency. So I don't think anybody should be worried about their colleague or their friend. What you need to do is to work for the Liberian people, because it is the Liberian people who decide who be their president, who be their leader.
What is this level of support on the part of the collaborating party? Because he represents a group which he represented for which to get him to this end here. What is the level of support on the part of the 4 parties that form this union?
I'll be honest with you, there are a few political leaders that have been very vocal and clear, on the issue of Brownie Samuka. Mr. Bernard Ure took a position immediately the ruling came down. He condemned it and he rallied support for Mr. Samuka, that this is not Samuka fight, this is the fight of the opposition. He was clear on that. Senator Darius Dillon was on the radio, he's on record. He condemned the act and told the world that this is a witch hunt. Whatever they're doing, they should stop it. But as an institution, they have not taken any position. But individually, yes, they are doing that. But more than that,
how can we distinguish that they are an institution? He's part of the institution, and the people are taking the individual positions. That someone is a hair scratching issue. So then, what could one suggest that the understanding of these different political parties to emerge? I didn't. You guys didn't address to focus some of these things that hey, there are going to be some rough edges down the road, and this is what we need to do to take a definitive position. Is that enough? Do you think Honorable Samukai feels that he's part of the coalition, or he's been left alone and with few friends and the people of LOFA to be in this fight with him?
I'll be honest with you, I believe strongly that the CPP need to take a holistic position. As much as they are doing individual support, but they have to do a holistic position. And that position will reflect the fact that this man is one of them. But as it stands, their individual support will be attributed as individuals. So we expect that their support should be holistic. However, the people of LOFA County voted for Brownie Samuka. And they are determined to ensure that Brownie Samuka will be that singular person that will represent them. And that is why they have never wavered to send in a message to this government. Because what the government is doing now is not only dangerous for our generation, but it is dangerous for the Mano River Union Basin. Because whatever happened in Liberia is going to affect the rest of the people.
When
so we are telling.
When you say whatever happens, I listened to one of your kingsmen, and probably if you want, I can play, but I'm quite sure you listen to that. There are going to be unspecified consequences.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Are you in support of that statement?
And not only in support, but I am in the center of that debate. But here is it. I want people to read the history of this country. Every civil unrest we have had in this country emanated from elections matters. So our people need to read. They don't need to forget so early. The Constitution was never, the people who wrote the Constitution was never in error when they said all power is inherent in the people. So when the people take their position, you cannot thwart that position. Because if you thwart it, there is a consequence. And that consequence is to come back to correct whatever mistake you want to do. So we are sending a loud message to the CDC that it is
just bear with us, folks. I saw we get a signal.
So whatever they are doing right now is totally unacceptable. And it has a propensity to spark of violence. And we are not prepared to be that county that will be experimented by a few group of people who will sit down and thwart the decision of the people. We are not prepared to do that.
This continues to drag down, Mr. ABASS. Do you foresee violence to be broken up by Lofians or supporters of Samuka? Is that an alternative plan?
The alternative is we will have a sustained political action. Political action.
Sustained.
Yes.
Sustained. That's a strong word.
Absolutely.
The connotation out there to ordinary people, they will give a self-interpretation. What could be the perfect interpretation of sustained?
The perfect interpretation is we will do everything we can legally, radically to ensure that Brownie Samuka is seated. That is the definition of the sustained political action. So it will be legal, it can be radical. We're clear on that.
Including civil disobedience?
Including sitting on the streets, including sitting at the commissions, the National Elections Commission, including stopping the National Elections Commission from working, including stopping the National Legislature from working until the senator of LOFA County is seated. We're clear on that.
Is that that's something Senator-elect Samuka will support?
Well, it is not his business to decide what we want to do. The people of LOFA County will determine what they want. It is not Brownie Samuka who will make a decision for us. We make decisions for ourselves, the people of LOFA County. So whatever we're doing, it has nothing to do with him. We are only there to ensure that our mandate.
Folks, just bear with us. We try to do the best we can. As you know, the internet service in Liberia. I'm talking with Mr. ABASS. So let me ask you this question here. And I'm really counting on that to get that letter, because this is something we want to see. Do you think Minister Samukai feels within that he did something wrong? He made a wrong administrative decision based on the president's instructions as he learned lessons?
Brownie have never regretted his action. In fact, he told us that if I'm in a position again today, I will make the same. If I was in a position to decide, I will make the same decision.
He would make the same decision.
The same decision.
So he's very definitive.
If he was in a position. So as we speak, he drives himself around town. He drives himself around town. He's very comfortable because he knows he did not do anything. So he has nothing to worry about. He's driving himself.
When you say he didn't do anything, that's your.
He didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, yeah. Was that legal? What he did?
Say that again.
Was that legal? He said he didn't do anything wrong, but yeah, we see the law.
Excuse me. Brownie. Yeah, Brownie Samukai using $100,000 to save the life of a soldier. A soldier who have gone to represent his country. And you call that illegal, and you're asking Brownie to pay the $100,000 back when the life of the soldier was secure? Are you telling me if it was the son of the president whose life was saved or whose life was secure, would he have allowed Brownie to go through what he's going through? The Chief Justice, if it was the son of the Chief Justice whose life was secured, just $100,000 that the government can afford to pay back, was it going to say it was illegal to save the life of a soldier? Is that what you're saying? General Abdurrahman, who came from Nigeria through the ECOWAS arrangement to come and serve Liberia, died. And the government, through the Minister of Defense, used $50,000 as a gratitude to the family. And you call that illegal? What are they talking about?
Let me ask this question here, Mr. Boate. You are making an argument here for Senator-elect Minister Samukai, if you will, to call him. But I'm wondering whether the defense team was able to put all of these on the table during the hearing as well.
Look, it was not just a verbal discussion or verbal mandate or order. These are documented informations that were provided in the court. But guess what? Our court system is terrible under Francis Kokpo. You don't have to be a lawyer when you read when you read what transpired in the court. You will feel terrible about our country. Take for example, the man was charged of misapplying public fund, but he was found guilty of misapplying private fund. Hello? What are you saying to us?
I hope to get hold of this document. And this is
what are you saying to us?
How did the government define this? Private, public, they are two different.
Exactly.
They are two different things. But I'm trying to find the proper definition that is being attached by national government, for which we extended an invitation to Semu Serenity Force to tell us as well. So I'm wondering, so what is their own interpretation to your team, to your candidate for which he's been held liable?
Because everything was stage managed, planned, and well executed, that is exactly what happens.
Is that a surprise to your team? You didn't see this coming?
No, we were never surprised. The only reason we were not surprised because it was said from the beginning, when it started from the lower court, evidences were provided. The commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia provided a documented evidence of an authorization document, and you said it was illegal. That itself speaks to the fact that, I mean, everything they were doing was already planned. So they were not interested in evidence. So they went ahead and execute as they planned. But what was further frustrating is for the Chief Justice to have said the order of the Commander-in-Chief, the then president, was illegal, speak to the fact that these people have compromised our legal process. So as we speak, Liberians have no confidence in our legal jurisprudence. So you know what it means when the citizens don't trust the court. That means you are heading for trouble. So if the people cannot trust the court process, then we are in trouble. For example, Cabinet Janneh was illegally removed. He challenged the process, and ECOWAS court said this was illegal. Recently, there was documentation that came from the US accusing the Liberian judiciary system of taking bribes. As we speak, Francis Kokor has not investigated this allegation.
So, Mr.
All
Black,
of this speaks. Yes, sir.
Yes,
You
said the minister did not do anything wrong. If he had a chance, he's going to do what he did. Correct?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So if he didn't do anything wrong, why should he agree to payment? If you don't do anything wrong, why should I pay for something that I know wasn't done wrongly?
Well, because we don't want to cause any chaos in our country, because we don't want any further problem in our country, and we all agreed the Constitution said the final arbiter of justice in the land is the Supreme Court.
Well,
as much as we are disappointed in the Supreme Court, we have decided to pay the money. That's why we put ourselves on record. Remember, there were 5 justices.
Is he keeping this money because perhaps there was a potential long-term backlash to see it coming? Is he having that money in his possession?
No, we are the one raising the money. The citizens of LOFA County and supporters are the one raising the money. Mr. Samuka does not have money. We are the one raising the money. The citizens.
Are you still carrying on the fundraiser for that?
We're raising our money. We're still raising. We're doing it as we speak. LOFA County just concluded the first phase of the rally. We are also concluding the first phase of the rally in Monrovia and other places. And so our colleagues in the diaspora are doing same. So by the end of March, we will be doing the first payment of this money. We are very determined to pay.
Out of transparency, will this team come out publicly to tell the public who are the donors? Because it's also within the purview of the election commission. There are certain people supposed to give certain money. So I don't know how that is being regulated. Will we know who?
Well, this is not a running campaign. When you are a candidate running for an election, the law forbids you from taking money from outside of Liberia. And so yes, but this is a solidarity support to a brother who we all believe in, and we felt that the law have injured him and we need to come to his aid, and so we are the one raising the money. So yes, we have
no status of limitation on that.
Say that again. No, there's no limitation. There's no limitation.
No limitation.
There's no limitation on this.
As Minister Samuka or Senator-elect Samuka has spoken with the former president in recent time, you know about? Mr. Boate, are you there?
I'm aware of. Yes, I'm there. I'm there.
Yeah.
Not officially that I am aware of, but they have all reached out to him expressing their disappointment. They have all reached out to him, expressing their solidarity. So yes,
now
but not officially.
You are perfectly articulating what is happening within the SAMUKA political wars. Can you tell us here precisely, there are numerous figures being put out there, 80%, 70%, 75%. Can you tell precisely how much was paid by the George Weah-led government? And what actually...
460,000 US dollars was initially paid by the government of Liberia under the George Weah leadership. 460,000 US dollars.
460,000 US dollars.
Exactly.
Were there any other conversations prior to that payment, any arrangements that perhaps were documented, not in a gentleman fashion, as far as you are concerned, you are aware of? In terms of full
no. What was done is there were two meetings held at the house of the then president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and George Weah. And those two meetings gave birth to an agreement through a press conference, which was read by Minister Samuka, affirming the government commitment. Yes, there was a press conference heard under the George Weah administration. And that press conference was approved by George Weah. That the government, yes.
You said two meetings?
Two meetings, yes. Two meetings were held. One at the home of President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, in the presence of senior AFL personnel, including the now Minister of Defense, the now Chief of Staff. Both were in that meeting. And during the trial, the Minister of Defense was subpoenaed by the court to come and testify. They said in their words that the government took responsibility of paying this money, and so in their in-house interview that was done, there was no evidence that Mr. Samuka used $1 of the AFL pension fund for his personal use.
He didn't use anything.
Anything.
Okay, so do you know who represented the interests of the government in those two meetings?
The president of Liberia, George Weah, was in the meeting. The second meeting was held at the house of President Weah.
And he was
in his presence.
He was in that meeting.
Yes, in his presence. He was there. Nathaniel McGee was there.
So that seems to be people of the higher up, decision maker, policy maker.
Absolutely.
They were all part
Absolutely.
of that.
Absolutely. These were not political party representation.
Why is Helen Johnson Sirleaf is not speaking out?
Well, I don't want to answer for her, but what I am aware of, during the trial, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was subpoenaed by the court, but the prosecution lawyers denied his, the prosecution lawyers denying the fact that Mrs. Sirleaf and President Weah should not have been subpoenaed. Everything was plain, and the judge overruled.
Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is no longer the president.
Exactly.
So why Helen Johnson Sirleaf could not be subpoenaed?
She was subpoenaed, and the prosecutor lawyers overruled, and the judge accepted. They denied the appearance of President Sirleaf. So these were all plain. So they denied the appearance of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to testify.
What does that tell you?
That tells us that these people don't mean well for this country, and everything they are doing was planified and demonized to destroy Brownie Samuka.
Mr. BIATY, we speak with clarity here. That seems to be a little bit ambiguous. These people, who are you referring to? These people?
When I say these people, the government of Liberia, headed by George Weah, the CDC-led government, executed by the current judiciary of this country, they all orchestrated this plan and they executed it exactly.
Will we see the senator-elect coming up to speak to the media publicly at some point in time when the going gets tough?
Certainly. Oh, certainly. Oh, certainly. Mrs. Very soon. We were confident that by now he should have been seated. And so if he was seated by now, he's speaking. The only reason why he is not speaking now because he still have cases at the court that he's dealing with. So that is the real reason why he's not speaking, but he's going to speak.
Can we count on you that when he's ready to speak, that we can have him here to give his?
Absolutely. He's going to be on all of the platform, including yours. Absolutely.
So what is going through his political mind and seeing what is unfolding here? Does he still have appetite going into this building behind me?
Well, he's not going in the building by himself. He has been asked by the people. When the people say you don't have option. And so the people are determined to ensure that he goes to represent them. So he has no option, but he has to. So yes.
Does he have any apprehension that if even been certified that he might meet up with another stumbling block in the Senate, some ethic violations, anything of sort? You see that hanging over him?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. Absolutely. Nothing like that.
So
yes.
When we see. And because I listened to that press briefing by Madam Brown, the NEC National chairperson, and we will get back. That is like leaving something hanging. That sort of expression was indefinite. No timeline was mentioned. It's not like on the 1st of April, the 10th of April, nothing. It just left you just completely in doubt. So
all right.
What are you guys going to do? You just want to wait until?
Let me speak to the NEC issue quickly, but let me also remind you that we have a power issue here.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I have a power issue here. The power is fluctuating. It may not allow me, to be visible. So I will hope that we'll be able to wrap up as the place is getting that.
Yeah.
But the National Elections Commission have also demonstrated that everything they are doing is being plain with the executive. How, for God's sake, the Supreme Court will give you a mandate since the 24th to go ahead to certificate Mr. Samuka? You refuse to certificate Mr. Samuka. Now, you went on the national radio and said Mr. Samuka will be certificated through the preparation of the certification committee. This had never happened in the history of the NEC. For you to come and read the mandate of the Supreme Court and reschedule the certification, this is the first time. So this also shows that the NEC is being controlled by an outside sources. So there are a series of demonstrations that the NEC have done, that the Supreme Court have done, that the court have done, that the government have done to show that yes, they are witch hunting Mr. Samuka. You certificated others in 24 hours. Immediately the decision came from the Supreme Court, but you have refused to certificate Mr. Samuka since the decision came from the Supreme Court.
Okay, let me take the call here quick, and then I'll come back before we can wrap up. 701 number 9940. Caller Ty. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, sir. My name is Teddy Lion Nyakung, calling from Fargo, North Dakota.
Mr. Ted Lion Nyakung, good afternoon. What's your question?
Oh well, I just try to give my take how I understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, greeting to the young man I am in the studio. He's trying to be a tough talker, but I just want to get into one or two things that are playing. Ellen Johnson Shelley, Donald Samuka, they will be the worst enemies of the Liberian people, because the first place for Ellen Johnson Shelley to select him as a defense minister, a long-serving defense minister, well, he have a lot of money now. It's a setup against the Liberian people. she knew what is happening right now. This is what had even selected as defense minister in the past. That tomorrow, the same Lofians today defending their kinsmen, collecting money, because they know they are the conservative people who reserve the ways of their ancestors. They support each other. You're putting money together to support him.
So, well, hold on one second. Let me ask you: are you saying that the decision by then President Helen Johnson Sirleaf to tap by Minister SAMUKAI was a wrong decision? Is that what you're saying? Or they knew what they were going to be getting us, or what they're going to be doing? Do you think Helen Johnson is on purpose, or what? The day is that what you're saying?
It was a bit of sinister plan by Helen Johnson Sirleaf, because we should understand the HO problem way back in the past of Labrenport problem. The first page you ask yourself question: why is it President George we are building a mansion in LOFA County as a peace hall? Because there's a big HO problem. And Helen Johnson Sirleaf came to power, they're tapping those buttons that tomorrow we the Liberian children, the native people will fight each other for power.
Okay, so quick. So quickly, my guest is standing by. We're going to be wrapping up. Getting up. Do you have a question? Do you have a question for him?
No. This is very important. What I'm saying is that there have been a problem in the past, and now they know the Lofians will support Brandon Samaka wrongly. That tomorrow the same Lofians will come out. George Weah and his people will come and fighting for power. This is what's playing right now. And the young man is a tough talker, but he's not ready seeing all these things.
So quickly, 10 seconds. So from what perspective are you speaking from? Are you also partisan line to nationalist?
I'm not speaking from partisan line. I'm speaking from what I'm seeing that's going to happen in the future, and I'm speaking from an educated point of view for us to understand this generation today that is supposed to play. It's set up.
Okay, thank you.
To come and attack George Weah and his people for power. We should understand that the Better Yala is a place that was set up where all the huge kinsmen from Branco County were taking over the Better Yala and they were killed. We should understand the story of.
Are you killing it? Let's speak out with facts here. Okay, all right. Thank you. Let me go back to my guess. I don't know about that. People taking to Better Yala and they were all killed. Abbas, are you there?
I'm there.
Okay, I thought you had a question. We understand the darkness is all there, like you right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap it. I know there are a lot of ongoing here. So what is any timeline from your end to see what next or what we're going to be hearing from the friends of SAMUKAI?
All right. I will also hope that you will bring me.
Say it again.
End of the week, so that we can further expound on this issue with with documentary evidences of what we're speaking to. But what we want to say right now is by Tuesday we will begin with a sustained political action. Beginning Tuesday onwards, there will be a sustained political action at every level. We're not going to tell you when, what time exactly, but beginning now, you will hear us on the news. We will begin with our political action if SAMUKAI is not certificated tomorrow. Rest assured on that.
After tomorrow, there will be sustained political
action, beginning tomorrow, in fact.
How many persons possibly will be involved in that?
Well, the people of LOFA County and all those who are in solidarity.
Do you have people currently living LOFA potentially to? Do you have citizens currently coming to the city now for such consequences?
Well, we don't want to discuss that right now, but what we want to say is at every level we are very prepared to ensure that a political action is taken against this government, any further delayed.
Is the CPP involved?
Well, the CPP, the youth wing of the CDC, yes, we are present in our first and second demonstration. Yes. The youth wing of the Unity Party, the CPP, all of them were available in our second and first demonstration. Yes.
Okay, Mr. BIATY.
I am really sorry. I'm really sorry for this embarrassment. I never expected this. I didn't know that, you know, this is the country. Yes, this is evidence of the leadership that is being provided for us here. You know, as you can see, while you were expecting to have an electricity to have a conversation, you cannot have that conversation because you don't have electricity.
Would you hold George? We are responsible?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is the yes. We should hold him responsible.
Okay, look, we are hoping to have this sort of a conversation ongoing.
Yes.
Yes. You know, we are open. I will also count you have my email address. Hopefully we get, because we like to argue on things with evidence to have the document. Like you said,
absolutely.
There's a letter to that effect. I'm looking forward to receive that letter, and when we get that, we will.
Yes.
Now we have to validate our talking point.
I will definitely do that. Thank you so very much for affording us the opportunity on your platform.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're most welcome, sir.
Okay, well, folks, there you have it. That's Mr. Abbas Mike BIATY is the national coordinator, Friends of SAMUKAI'S, the Unity Party MONSTERRADO chair, Mr. Charles Roberts. I tried to be part of this conversation, but for some reason, he could not get access. So let's see here. We are hearing again the words of unspecified political consequences that was echoed by this gentleman.
I will be coming in the future, or my grandchild or whoever that Brandon SAMUKAI is a criminal. Here is what I want the world to know today. Application of misappropriation is not tantamount to criminality. The first thing, the law of the Republic of Liberia says our cabinet minister work at the will and pleasure of the president. They didn't say even at the will and the pleasure of the country, which are also frown at that law, but that's what the law says. You work at the will and the pleasure of the president who appoints you. This man was the sitting defense minister of the Republic of Liberia. You are speaking about the commanding-in-chief of the armed forces of the Republic of Liberia. By the way, there is no president in the world is a civilian. As long as you are the head of the army, you are now a civilian. Do you expect Brandon SAMUKAI to have told Madam Seri, no, I'm doing this? Or you want a man to be charged with mutiny? Eh? Yeah, so you want a man? No. Do you want a man? Did you want the man to have been charged for mutiny? Is that why you want to tell me here?
Mr. Gibson, what will be the reaction if the next fails to certificate Honorable SAMUKAI today?
Come again?
What will be the reaction?
There will be unspecified, sustained political consequences.
There you have it. There will be unspecified political consequences. Those are the words we just heard from Mr. BIATY, who happens to be the national coordinator of Friends of SAMUKAI. And that gentleman, to where you said there's no president in the war who is not a military, that's a big lie. You don't have to be being a president does not mean you have to be a military man. However, you are the commander-in-chief of the army, or commander-in-chief, CRC or whatever. It does not in any way to suggest that you are a military man. So that statement is false. So we shouldn't be getting these things out there. You can say whatever you want to say, that's okay. But to suggest that because he's a president, anybody who is a president, then you are a military president. No, you are just a commander-in-chief. It's a ceremonial title. As a commander-in-chief of the nation. So that's not true. We're going to be here for a little minute, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be right back here at this time. So we're going to pivot the ball right here in the U.S. The CEO to Focus Africa, Mr. Dennis Jad, going to be my guest with a team of analysts of the Liberia Public Radio. Focus Africa is another online news network based here in the USA. Denija is based in Atlanta, Georgia. You're going to be joining me here this evening at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to have a quick conversation here. If you will, to participate, just give me a call, or we're just going to cut it off for the day here, and we're going to be back here very shortly, right on top of the hour this evening at 8 p.m. So I'm waiting to see it, and I hope Mr. brought it, because he said a document, there's an official letter. Now we know that in fact the president, former President Helen Johnson Sirleaf, was subpoenaed, and the motion was denied. So I don't know why she does not no longer enjoys the immunity of the presidency. So she's supposed to answer questions, because her name is mentioned. It's part of this puzzle what we are talking about here. So let's see here. I believe, let's listen to this here quickly before we wrap up here. Let me just see here if I have this. This is how this whole thing came about. We managed to get this tape when SAMUKA made that announcement.
18th January 2018. Statement by the government of Liberia on the concerns raised by families of AFL personnel on the utilization of funds in their welfare account. Upon consultation with the President, Her Excellency Madam Helen Johnson Sirleaf, and in consultation with the President-elect, His Excellency Ambassador Weir, I'm reading the following statement from the government. It has come to the attention of the government of Liberia that wives of personnel of the armed forces of Liberia have raised concerns over the utilization and management of funds deducted from their family members serving in the armed forces of Liberia that were deposited into a pension fund account. They were concerned that funds used from this account on AFL activities should not have been used for that purpose, but that the government should have provided funds in the budget to cater to welfare of personnel of the armed forces of Liberia. You may recall that in August 2009, the Ministry of National Defense established a contributory savings involving deductions from all ranks of the AFL for their welfare and supplementary pension benefit after their years of honorable service. As of October 2017, the amount of $2,062,160.14, including accrued interest, were collected and deposited into that account at EcoBank. It has been established that about $1,147,656.35 was spent on the AFL, and the balance in the account, more like, is about $688,964.96 as of 8 November 2017. Following this outcry by families of AFL personnel on the status and utilization of said account, the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia ordered an immediate investigation by a board of inquiry to determine the status, utilization, and balances of said account. The findings of the report establish the following facts. 1. That the Ministry of National Defense did not establish guidelines nor a clear policy on the utilization of this welfare account. 2. That the Ministry of National Defense did not provide timely information to personnel of the armed forces of Liberia on the operation and utilization of said account. 3. That the Ministry of National Defense authorized the expenditure of funds from this account on soldiers' welfare without the requisite consent of the AFL High Command. 4. That all money spent on military personnel welfare should have been handled by and through the government normal budgetary appropriation and not from the AFL welfare account. 5. That the MOD failed to seek requisite budgetary appropriations for the welfare of the soldiers and that of the Ministry of National Defense, and that funds should not have been used for the benefit of the soldiers without requisite budgetary appropriation. 6. Documents reviewed that the expenditures made from this welfare account were for the benefit of AFL families, but those funds should have never come in the place. However, the Ministry of National Defense is responsible for processes in the mentioned expenditure. Consequently, the government of Liberia has determined that it is appropriate and the right thing to do to restitute or refund the full amount of $1,147,656.35 that was expended on the EFL for the past several years. This refund shall be immediately provided in the next budgetary appropriation to the EFL by the government of Liberia. Henceforth, the EFL shall manage all of its accounts itself, including welfare account, through the chain of command without any hindrance nor interference from authorities of the Ministry of National Defense. There shall be no further withdrawal from this account until such time when a clear and concise policy is put in place that will...
Okay, there you have it, Ed. That was a statement after this whole thing. Then Minister Samuka. And for the first time, for us here at the Liberia Public Radio, we pretty well get an insight of what happens behind the scene. The spokesperson or the national coordinator to our friends of Samuka, Mr. BIATY, has made it known here that, in fact, there were 2 meetings held as it relates to this. One held at the residence of former President Helen Johnson Sirleaf, and the last one with the president, the sitting president, President George Weah. And he has also made it known that over 460,000 has been paid by this government. So meaning the government is aware of this, and there was discussion that went on. He also made it known that there was a subpoena to the former president, but that motion was denied. Okay, so we getting pretty good insight of regarding this AFL money, and so. But we are not going to make a conclusion on that. Let me just pick up the call here quickly. Hopefully, I'm not sure whether they're calling to make a participation. Caller, hello, caller.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Are you calling on the show?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Joseph Tamai, and I call you from Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. Good afternoon. Quickly, what's your side of the story?
Brother, in my mind, the issue of this salary deduction was from the beginning criminal in nature. Mm-hmm. For God's sake, the armed forces serving the country, for the time they will work until they are retired, is there no policy by the government of Liberia to settle them, to give them any benefit except that the money they save themselves? Is that what they were telling the armed forces? While they are in their bedrooms sleeping, the soldiers are in the cool washing on them, and they have a kind of quasi policy that will not benefit the armed forces of Liberia. Is that what SAMUKAI'S intend to do? That alone is diabolical. If the armed forces, if the soldiers want to keep their money, pay them all their money, let them go and pay their susu. Let them put their clothes. They can make their own savings. Don't keep the people money. After 10, 15 years of service, if he's retired, the governor of Liberia should find some benefits for his services. Instead, he won't use their own savings to give it as benefit. Is that what he's saying? It's criminal in nature. And before 12 years, they are almost exhausted using this money. According to the case, they are almost exhausted using this money. So why are they using the money? The money should be kept and should not be used for any other purpose, only for their settlement. Not when the man is ill, not when the man is killed on the battlefront. No.
So to conclude here, what's your take? You think SAMUKA has done wrong and the right thing has been done?
SAMUKA did not only do wrong, but he did he committed a criminal act in my mind. Not only wrong, because it was intentionally done.
Even though he was acting on the orders of the president.
Where are the documents? For God's sake.
Yeah, and I don't know how long you've been following it, and that's what we've been pressing. And I hold him of his word that there is a letter to that effect that authorized the Minister of National Defense by the president to go ahead. So he promised to send that to us. Hopefully, he tried to do that because it will be what we can validate when one that is validated. And we also reached out with the Minister of Justice, Serena Sifos. He promised he didn't show up, but we're going to give him a second chance. We also want to hear from the NEC. We are now hearing as of Tuesday, as of tomorrow, if his SAMUKA is not certificated, there will be unspecified political consequences. What that means, I don't know. We try to press to get a precise meaning of that. It's not being told, but this is something we have heard in the past, and this spokesperson of Minister SAMUKA or Senator-elect SAMUKA has re-echoed that. So that's something we must take into serious concern. Okay, my dear brother, thank you so much for quickly.
Speak to that issue of the letter, brother. Let me speak to that issue of the letter. If he promised to give you this letter, why didn't he present the letter to the court?
He said
that would have exonerated him.
Yeah, not to speak for him. I asked that question. He said the letter, everything was presented to the court, and that was some of the president. Okay, well, those are follow questions.
He was working on the order of his boss, because that is a chain of command. Your boss order you to do something with a document, a hard copy, in fact, in your hand. You have done no wrong. There's no court in the world will find you guilty for following an instruction from your boss. No.
That's quite interesting. But again, I'm just only quoting what he said. That I asked whether those arguments were made in the court, and he said yes, it was presented to the court, and asking whether he can serve for his copy. And I think you have his word that he was. So we're just going to leave it as it is, and hopefully and see what next. And I hope we can talk to other NEC. Even legal authority to see who went wrong and what happens. And that's what I asked, why Helen Johnson Sirleaf is not being called into this, and I was made to understand that Helen Johnson Sirleaf was called, but that motion was denied.
I think that is just a damage control he's doing.
Okay, well, all right.
That's just a damage control.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, folks, we're going to leave it here. But I see here someone here. Yeah, Ramsey, I believe it's a Ramsey Malbert. I know I say in any country where there is a military, the president automatically become, no, he said he's an army man. He not just said, so the tape is there and we can play that. I listened to it well and carefully. He did not use that. We know the president is always the commander-in-chief, CIC. There's some sort of symbolic name being attached to the president, but he said he's a military man. He's not a military man. That's not what he said. He didn't say it automatically. He said he is a military man. You do not know. That's why he was asking the reporter, and that is false. being a president of a country does not make you a military personnel. It's out of the equation. Okay, so folks, we're going to be leaving it here. I hope to be back here. And he promised also that at some point in time, because as a matter of fact, I want to say thank to the Senator-elect, because we reached out to him, and he also made it clear because of what is happening. The case is in court, and he, as a principal person involved in this investigation, he cannot speak now. Everything is being done through his lawyer or spokesperson, and that's how can he put forward the names of these gentlemen that appear here. So that's been very spontaneous, and we are hoping to talk to himself as well. Let me go to this line here, last caller here. 253 number to 988982. Are you there, caller? Hello? Yeah, are you hearing me? Yeah, hello?
Yeah, hello, are you hearing me?
Yeah, like hear you loud and clear. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Yamda. I'm calling from Washington, Seattle.
Washington, Seattle. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, some kind of issue, it is complicated. For me, I want in the army.
You want to serve in the army?
Yes.
Okay.
Why some content people don't know, and the calling saying a lot of things against Samuka. If you look at the nature of the case of Samuka, you grade Samuka as the best minister of the defense. Because what the government did when we were trained as an army, there are no system that put in place for retirement benefit. So back then, Samuka was the minister. He started when he said, well, these people, they are there for our country. So he formulated that compulsory saving.
So he initiated that.
Yes, that compulsory saving. And as a leader, as an army personnel, you need leadership. You think for the masses that will benefit tomorrow, you're not thinking for individual. So after he did it, the government as a whole, those days, don't have it getting serious. Before the past budget, things are so difficult. So for the benefit of the army, because for the good, for the well-being of the army, for example, paying money for Adu Rama when he died to his family. If the defense were not going to take that stand, our country was going to stop, because Adu Rama came from Nigeria and he served our country for so many years. He died, the government pay that gap for his benefit. Sanka paid that money. It's documented. And everything that he did, the Navy took money for our work. Can you imagine campuses day? They can't be uniform. People are calling today, that they ask today, since Samuka left in power, since Samuka is not the minister now, see the condition of the army. No uniform. People buying a uniform these days.
So quickly here, before we wrap it up here, as a former AFL personnel, as you just alluded, you support the action by Minister Samuka, then, is that what you're saying?
No, yeah, the only thing he did, he made appropriate, but with that, the concern people,
but he's also arguing that if you are even given the second, if you are given chance, he will do it again.
Yes.
That's not been apologetic. And I've seen him using himself as a sacrificial lamb for Helen Johnson Sirleaf.
This is why when you want to cook, because the guy just came out and said it himself was a plan. Because all the documents are there. When now they could go by the document. And in the army, if your commander tells you to do this,
duty before complaining, eh?
Thank you. Did you from that?
That one of the things, I love the military as a unique institution, but that duty before complaining, that why I never put my hand inside.
Just as a Samuka, but from the initial stage, it was pre-planned that today, those documents may happen when you provide librarians will get the nature of this case. But Samuka did a great job for the army. Up to now, the army were the money now were given to now, if they are retire, there will be no father for them.
Okay.
Because the person chief of staff, the person when it came about the person chief of staff, let the money when you pay, let's go back in the account. We the students in Kino we say the man will cook it in your battle. Also, we need our money from that. We say $900 US.
Oh, you get your own before coming? Before coming?
Yeah, before
oh my goodness. I see. Now I see why in the case out there the afternoon. You got so quickly here, you are hopeful to get your number here. So without knowing all of the details, those are quick good revelations that you are putting. Without knowing all of the details, did they tell you how much you're going to be putting away, and that exactly to put away, and is that what you receive?
Yes, that's what I receive.
What? So can you tell us how much you were putting away monthly? Rough figure, anything you remember that?
Yeah, it was circulating. That was turning out every month. But the document is never shown turning out because what we say is not put except what is documented.
So they just told you that we're going to be taking money away.
Yes, the information I got was turning out.
$20. Was there any any written document to that effect? No.
No, it was no written document.
So how long you think that money they made that deduction for you? Do you remember how many months, year, weeks, how many months or so you remember?
Yes, for me, 10 years.
10 years?
Yes.
And you say you receive what?
$950.
$950?
Yes.
For 10 years?
Yeah, for 10 years.
Do you think foul was played?
You said?
Do you think any foul was played? Do you think it commensurate with that years? You think the amount you receive? If they say, because if they say they were taking away 20, putting away 20.
Say, hello. Let's get it straight now.
Yeah.
I said information that we got. Because when kind of information, what coming out from people? It's quick on the why it's on the paper. You get me? Thank you. So it was terrible. After that press conference that they had, when Judge William, even the president, he said, but then Eric Johnson, they were pressing. They were got the correct information now. All what I was saying over the air, it was false. You get me? So after they do all the deduction because we were on insurance, all these things, everything we were on it. But the retirement money, retirement or form, we were not on that call. Nothing at the camp. We were just in our place. We were around the Hatamuka, that benefit for us. So why you want me to do? Everyone is not there. Left when kind of answers day to go China to go anywhere to buy uniform for to be equipped. You go in a account and pay money for it. Then when the annual budget when it say
then it's replaced.
Yeah, when they pay the annual budget for the army, you pay that money and put it back.
The whole cover whole, right?
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You get me? So they begin now to make SAMUKA had it. They believe that you are still going to be in power. So when you fall on there now, so the gap was already there. You get me? And he is doing that thing. And once the document is there, the president, he said, what is John Weir? He said, where? The working conference, the work of the for information sharing, and everything was there. The government was willing to pay it.
Yeah, but what is troubling here? This amount for 10 years and just to receive that, that's something. Okay, my man, time is against us here now. Thank you so much for providing that information.
SAMUKA did his best. He was the one I said, ask me, and I did sorry. SAMUKA did was better than he did.
Okay. All right. So Ali, that will pay your way to come to America, right?
I used to process someone document.
Process someone. Bro, man, why one year on a power boy and another person power now boy live with you?
No, but still, now laughing. What SAMUKA did, you know, when the money are going to be there, and not at the time you you get good money.
Yeah, I know that just probably the finishing line. And this sort of what I call army thing here, you can't say no.
You get not get money for the government.
I know.
You get for the show when that is the money.
Okay, this is a clear indication that all of us, people who want state power, we need to know exactly where they stand on these sort of critical issues. So it's not just all about insult or talking. You want power, you empower, you have to be very explicit.
Some kind of criminal, something like this. Now,
Samukai, I worked with him closely before in the past when I was with the Ministry of State, because Ministry of National Defense, I have the what I call towers at the Ministry of State that is up Duco as well. And I think he brought a lot of discipline, especially when you are at the police. When he organized Blackberry, we can give his part. There are other things that we can talk about. There are some respects that he earned. And that's why I was kind of like surprised, taking that sort of mandate from the president. But again, it's like a piece of cloth between the Caesar. And like you say, I'm a man, you can't say yes, sir. You can't say yes, sir, this and that. But I hope lesson is learned. And I'm hoping that, that he will come here. And let me ask him that same question: whether if he find himself in that situation, will he again do the same? Is he being used as a sacrificial to the lamb here? But again, his spokesperson alluded that they called in the president, and we are now hearing 2 meetings were held. One at President Salif residence, and now sitting President George Weah, in the amount of $460,000 is being paid. He told us that there is an official letter, and I'm hoping I'm going to make a follow through that we have access to that letter. Okay, my dear brother, thank you so much for being part of today's program. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, folks, that's how we're going to close it here this evening. For those of you joining us for the very first time, my own sister Anand. Now let I go afternoon right there in Minneapolis, and all of you guys for the first time, subscribe, click the like, and be with us. I'm going to be back here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be hosting Mr. Dennis Jai of Focus on Liberia.
Water Development Association. I do all. You get more. What's all that?
Well, those of you who are listening to us, I'm going to be taking you to the southeastern south of Liberia. That is Grangeda County. This is one here from our own man. That's the president of the Portland Development Association right here in the USA. The acting or the chairman of the board, Mr. Harrison DJ Dennis, passed within the belt of Allentown, and that President D. Jawle Kampao extending his condolences to the bereaved family, the people of Poor Bleat region there from Barson District, Grangeda County, with DK Nyambe. Well, Brother Harrison, may his soul rest in perfect peace. He passed this gone Friday in Allentown, in Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia. Our prayers and thought goes out to the bereaved family. He's the brother of the sitting president of the Barson District Association in America, Mr. J.J. Dennis, is based in Philadelphia. So you can also reach out to these to the families to express your condolences as information becomes available. So we'll let you know right here on this network. Okay, before we go, let's just bring you this developing news on the international wire. I call into Al Jazeera. Cable News Network is reporting here that powerful explosions hit Equatorial Guinea, main city of Bata. It is yet unknown to the number of deaths, but a cause of the blast and number of casualties are not immediately clear. Local television shows people pulling bodies from the rubble. That is an explosion reported in Equatorial Guinea, in the city of Bata. That's what we, according to Al Jazeera, right here, try to bring you that. Another one here from Al Jazeera, huge explosions. It's actually latest here says 17 reported there, and 400 seriously wounded, and they have been taken to a hospital. That's the latest in Equatorial Guinea, according to Al Jazeera News Cable Network. Here reporting a huge blast has been reported in the city of Bata, killing 17, and 400 reported it wounded and taken to different hospitals within that corridor. What our prayers and thought out, what a trouble world that we are in. Folks, that's how we're going to bring the curtain down. I'm going to be right back here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those of you joining us for the very first time, make this network your home network. And we hope to get their copy of that letter. And once we get it, we will publish it as well. We are getting more details. 2 meetings were held, one at the residence of President Helen Johnson Sirleaf, sitting President Dr. George Weah. So what is the deal? Until then, have a pleasant day, and I'll see you later.
This is True FM. I'm in the presence of criminal lawyer, Councillor Arthur Johnson. Councillor Johnson, want to say welcome to this special interview.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay. The president has come up with another new message, and you, as a criminal lawyers and as a citizen of the country, you are seems to be embarrassed by his new music. What do you make of it?
Yes, Toby, my concern is this. This is the 4th song that our president is making. Okay. It is not about questioning his talent to sing. Okay. It is about the situation and the timing. Okay. It is just like this, Toby. You leave home, you go back home, you left your home hungry, the children are hungry, and I go back as a father, I beat the children all lying hungry, and I start to sing and dance and celebrate without carrying food. Okay. They feel disappointed about me as a father in the land. So is the situation now. Okay. We can have people are suffering. People are actually suffering in this country. Nothing is happening. You have serious social problems.